Boom Chicago is American theater, or is started by some American improvisers, a theater in Holland. It's a Dutch theater. And I say that to respect the length of time it's been there. And a lot of the founders of the theater now, I think, have basically become Dutch. And, some of them live there now and raise their kids there. And it's also, at the time, it was populated by pretty much all American improvisers. Now it has a much more diverse, cast. They have people from Britain. I think they actually have some Dutch performers in the show now.
Oh, that's cool.
But when I was there, it was very much this American-style improv comedy theater in the heart of Amsterdam, in the Leidseplein Square.
The people that were there are just insane. Like Jordan Peele, Seth Meyers, Josh Myers, his brother, who's electrically funny, Ike Barinholtz, and like the entire brain trust pretty much of Ted Lasso, Jason Sudeikis, Joe Kelly, and Brendan Hunt.
That's right. Amber Ruffin.
Fucking nuts.
Tarek Davis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tarek. Yeah. When the Tommy Chong documentary played at IDFA, which is like this documentary festival there.
Okay.
I think it was like 2005 or 2006, but I went there and they were still playing the Christmas in Holland video that you and Jordan did. That's so fucking funny. I mean, like basically, it's like you guys kind of doing like a riff of how Christmas is different. It's like a rap, but it's like this is what Christmas is like in Holland.
In Holland, they have a different sort of Christmas mythology.
Yeah,
so Santa Claus does not have elves in sort of their story. Santa Claus has Zwarte Pieten,
of course.
And Zwarte Pieten means black Pete's.
Okay.
And so the black Pete's are, now to be, charitable, they're his helpers.
Okay.
Okay. But in reality, they were his slaves.
Whoa.
Being that their version of Santa Claus, which they call Sinterklaas, it's a different guy. So it's not like, they call Santa Claus Sinterklaas.
Oh, okay.
It's like a different guy. He's got these slaves that he brings with him from his plantation down in the South, and they kind of come up, and he brings all the gifts for all the good kids, but the bad kids, the Zwarte Pieten, grab the bad kids, throw them into a sack, and bring them back to Sinterklaas's farm to work. That's sort of the story.
That's like literally that's what it is.
Story. If you're bad, you will be kidnapped into slavery.
Wow. So the video is like you and Jordan, like basically on like the streets of
just on the streets.
Yeah.
It starts off, we're just walking around from the Leidseplein, basically to the Museumplein in Amsterdam. So the way that he's portrayed is, they go out and they hire all these, African and Dutch African actors. No, I'm lying. So the way that they portrayed Zwarte Piet is just by putting white people in blackface, just straight up blackface.
Oh God!
And so when you would go there, and I think it's kind of tapered down now. I'm sure if you have any Dutch listeners, they'll be like, "No, we don't do that anymore." But back then, it was like not a big deal to them. They thought it was cool. So like around the holidays, somewhere around beginning of December, I'm like riding my bike to work. And I'm seeing all these kids like super excited with these balloons with this sort of cartoon blackface character.
Okay.
Who's like, ah!
Oh my God. This is your first whiff of this?
Yes, that was my first whiff. I don't know why is this happening?
Yeah.
And so I get there and somebody kind of explains it to me and I'm like, what? Like, it's blowing my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, there's like white guys, who are like out like dancing and like little elf things with blackface on.
Oh my God.
And like giving cookies and treats to the kids. Paper noting, I think they call it, or something like that. And so like the kids are like, yay. And like they're kids, so it's like any black person to them is Zwarte Pieten.
Yeah.
So they start like yelling Zwarte Pieten to like other black people.
Yeah.
And they're like, ha ha. Everybody's like laughing, like, ha ha. He called you Zwarte Pieten because you're a black guy. Ha, ha.
Oh my God.
And everybody's kind of laughing, and you're like, what the what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And so that's where the video kind of came from.
Oh man.
Sort of us being like, well, we want to kind of acknowledge this and kind of call it out, for what it is.
There was a show that I went to, and I think it was a late night show, but they played that tape roll like basically to warm up the audience, and it just fucking brought the house down.